Okay, so I'm going to call the meeting to order. It's 5:39. I'm assuming Kelly's here doing the recording for me, but I'll write the stuff down anyway. First order is Route 44 development, the urban renewal plan. Do we have any information on that?
I tried reaching out to the chairman, Ms. Clark, the other day. I didn't get through to her. As far as I know, I haven't heard any progress whatsoever. I'm really starting to get concerned with the grant that we got from the state, but I didn't know if Jim would have any information on that because he's supposed to be spearheading that grant, and that was for the infrastructure. Other than that, I didn't hear anything. That's all I can report.
Okay, I did read in the paper that the Carver reported the other day that they're planning on doing an update for the new members for the redevelopment authority. So they're planning on doing an update, and I don't know exactly what the date is, but I'll keep my eyes open for that, and I'll probably go for that, and get an update from George on what his plans are for that. Now that we know that the person that the client that they really wanted to go in there has decided to do something different. So so I'll go to that meeting and get an update. Ask a few questions myself about what their intention is with the North Carver Water District. So
good idea.
Yep. So just to make sure that we can stay up to date on that particular item. So because it's going to mean a lot to us if they follow through with what they said that they were going to do. That's going to mean a lot to us. So I'll go to that meeting when I can see that it's posted, and we'll get some answers then. So probably the next meeting I'll be able to report back to you.
Yeah, I'll try to reach out to Joanna Layton also. Maybe I can get some progress there. Yep.
We all know the players involved, so we'll talk to them as we get the chance to.
Yep.
Okay, item number 2 on the agenda was the service connections for Santana Way. Mike, have you heard anything more from Glenn?
Yes, he asked for another final read this week for unit 23. I think the final unit in that second building.
Okay, the final. So he's going to be he's planning on opening his 6th unit.
Yes. And
the unit is number 20-3.
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna want to make sure that he's up to date with that before we open the connection.
He said he paid it, but I have not known. But I have to read the meters tomorrow, so I'll check with the clerk's office just to make sure.
Okay, just make sure. Check with Craig or the. I know there's another person
Yeah.
Yes, there's another person up there in the finance office that's handling that now. So just check and make sure that they're up to date before that connection gets open.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay. So now we're going pretty quick. We're into the FY22 budget. And there's a little
smile. See the smile?
Yeah, I can see this. You can see me smiling too, right? Okay, so
that's all right.
No, I sent you. Did you get the emails that I sent you? There was There was an FY22 forecast, and there was an FY21. She's got it listed as forecast, but it is definitely the budget that we authorized for the current fiscal year. And I'm just going to kind of go down line by line on this thing. The
just to give you info on that, Mr. Chairman, I don't have that paperwork in front of me. If I go pull it out of phone, I'll lose you.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So I'll try to be as explicit as I can. I have the papers in front of me, so I can kind of go over what's happening here. On the revenue side of our budget, the betterments are of course in a decreasing number, because as people pay their betterments off, and that's been happening with regularity. people pay their benefits off, and we're in a decline on the revenue. So we're dropping from 36,374 to 35,640. So there's a little bit less than $1,000 drop on the revenue on the betterments. The interest, of course, is the same thing as the betterments drop. The interest that's associated with that also declines. So that's declining from 51,407 to 48,524. So we're losing a little bit of money there. Water usage, of course, is an estimated thing. We can only estimate how much revenue we're going to make. That's also, she has declined, and probably based on actuals from the previous year. She's estimated that we're dropping from 91,875 to about 86,000. So we're losing a little bit there. The one thing that we can consider with water revenue is we can consider rate increase for the next fiscal year. And that would.
When did we increase last? We got increased 2 years, right?
Yeah, I think probably 2 years ago, we increased about 5%. I think it's fair for us to talk about it every year, whether we actually decide to do an increase. Most years we decide not to. And I think we don't need to make a decision tonight. This is just strictly for discussion purposes. We should at least think about maybe an increase. And I'm going to say think about an increase based on what the overall budget shows. And so we'll kind of get into some of the other items here. The Irs subsidy, which is based on the interest that we pay on the $4.7 million loan, is also in decrease, because as we pay less interest, we get less of a subsidy for that increase, for that interest. That's dropping from 39,618 to about 38,700. So we're losing a little over $900 there. Transfer from the general fund, which includes the pilot, which is the payment in lieu of taxes from the solar panels on the landfill. Plus the DIF, which is DIF revenue, which is the district improvement financing that we have an agreement with the town to split any kind of new growth numbers that we have. That is actually increasing from 133,139 to 146,468. So that reflects new growth for the last fiscal year, and so there's an increase in our revenue there, and that's a good thing. The other element that we have for revenue, the other element that we have for revenue is the transfer from the general fund. That is the subsidy from the town to cover our debt service. Right. And none of us likes doing that, but we're kind of stuck with it. Nope. That's going to reduce from 200,000 this year to 190,000. So we're
not as bad as I was expecting.
No, as far as on our revenue side, we're decreasing in 5 of our 6 categories, but we're increasing in the other one, which is kind of to be expected. There's really no real surprises here. That's what it is on the revenue side. We're going from 552,413 to 545,411. So there's a slight decrease in the amount of our revenue. And again, we can probably affect that if we do a rate change. We can probably affect that to some degree. Now on our expenses side, Again, I'm gonna take them line by line. Repair and maintenance, facilities and equipment, we authorized 3,500 for last year's budget, the FY21 budget, which is consistent with what we've done over the last few years.
Yep.
I can say that FY20, we expended 2538.78 of that 3,500. So we ended up with a plus balance of 961.22 in that category.
That was 961 plus?
961 plus, correct.
Okay.
Okay, repair and maintenance generator. Last year, we did not spend any money on repair and maintenance generator because that was the year that we got the new generator through the grant from the
Yep.
Commonwealth of Mass. So we didn't spend any money on the old generator because we knew we were going to get rid of it. And we haven't spent any money on the new generator because it's still under warranty as far as I'm concerned. Now we have,
Absolutely.
we had budgeted $2,000 for that. We didn't spend any of it. But I would say that, you know, this being the year that we might want to kind of hold some money into that account so that we can use it for the purposes of, you know, maintaining the generator because it's going to need to be maintained.
It should be a lot cheaper than the last one because your oil and your coolant are probably like a quarter of the amount.
Exactly. We definitely anticipate that. But, you know, we can.
So,
go ahead, Will.
Sorry. So that was the $2,000 that we budgeted for, but we didn't spend anything.
Correct.
Anything on it. But didn't we outstanding bill from that they're looking that they wanted us to pay that we all disagree?
Yep, and they know that, and they know that we disagree. And the last I heard was from the operations and maintenance director. He was going to reach out to them and see if, you know, we could kind of reach a resolution on this particular thing. I think now they understand that, you know, this is on them. As far as I'm concerned, this is on them. And I think they know it. So, you know, it's only a matter of time before they you know, they come and fix the problem, and it's going to be on them as far as I'm concerned.
It should be. It's brand new.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. But we're not looking at, you know, if they do something for this under this year's budget, we have money for it. But we're looking at next year's budget, and we need to consider what's not going to happen in 2021. We need to consider what's going to happen in 2022. So look out about 18 months.
So you considering to save that, carry that $2,000 over into our next budget?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're good on that. Okay, repair and maintenance well. And this has been a big one for a couple of years. The FY21 had budgeted $11,000 for that particular purpose. I think we're going to go there this year.
Yep.
We didn't do it last year. FY20, we didn't do it last year. Repair and maintenance well. We ended up with an unexpended balance of about $9,400, but that's not going to happen this year. We've already planned on spending more than that.
Yeah.
Out of this year's budget. So again, I would say not making any changes to that particular line.
Okay, so we want to maintain. I'm sorry, what was that? That was $11,000 we had?
Yes, it was.
for repair and maintenance?
On the wells, just the wells.
Okay. I agree with that.
Okay, I do as well. Phones, telephones, and SCADA. We have 45, we budgeted 4,500 for that this year. We expended 4,285 last year. So I would say that's finally in line with what we need to do. Somebody's cat.
Yeah, just leave that as is.
Yep, I would. Propane.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Propane, we have budgeted 4,500 for this fiscal year. Last fiscal year, we spent 4,285.
That ain't bad.
Yeah,
That's pretty damn close.
Yeah,
Not knowing what the new generator was going to run.
exactly. We don't know what the new generator is going to run. And, as an old Yankee, I can kind of feel it in my bones that this is going to be a long, cold winter. And that's kind of
So let me run this by you with with the new administration coming in, knowing that he wants to immediately stop fracking and everything. Should suggest that we bring that $4,500 up to $5,000. I don't think he's going to be able to get much, as in the volume of additional the stopping of the fracking and stuff, but the volume that's already out there, or the fuel that we've already accumulated. I don't think he's going to hit that this year. The following year, I bet you we're going to get something.
okay.
And an increase in values on pricing. So I'm just trying to be conservative. I thought about this the other day, but to jump it up to maybe $5,000, and maybe we can take some of that out of the somewhere else in our bill, kind of to offset it. Be $500 generator repairs.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
So in other words, I'm thinking about increasing that to $5,000, drawing our generator expenditure down to $1,500. Just, I know this is only preliminary, but I want to throw that out there.
Okay. So, yeah, absolutely. And this is for discussion purposes only. And, we don't need to make a decision tonight.
Yep.
We can think about this. So what you're proposing is moving 500 out of the repair and maintenance generator and putting it into propane.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And we can run this past Steve. Okay. No, that makes sense to me. Okay. So the next line is electrical. And we have 29,000. We have 29,000 in our electric budget. There's 29, but I've got 27 here. We have 29,000 in our electric budget, and it looks as though we expended 18,356, and that's probably with, when you have to with electric, it's not just what it costs, but with the solar panels, it's what we make as well.
With the delivery.
Yeah. So it looks as though we finished out with about an $893 in the plus category, and probably because of generation from the solar panels. And I know they were only. It was this year that they had the issue with the solar panels. It wasn't last year. So that, issues with the solar panels this year is probably going to show up later in the year. And we'll probably have to, we'll get to the end of FY21, and we're probably going to have to chase some money to find for the electric budget. So, I think
to give you a little heads up on that.
Okay.
Sorry about Kevin. I know we have a little delay. So just a little heads up on that. I did reach out to John Scalzone from Solaire on the panels that were missing. The panels that they've installed, they are larger producing than what they had there previously. So that's what you see. They put in larger producing, which means that their volume was small, but they produced the same amount of power.
Okay.
And a little FYI for you guys, the reason why I couldn't get a hold of John that night is he had COVID.
Oh,
So
goodness.
last time I chatted with him, he was doing a little bit better, but boy,
Okay.
he sounded bad. But
yeah.
he did call me at night.
Okay.
So I
Good.
do believe that, they lost probably, they're probably still behind a little bit on recouping the revenue generated by the solar
Mhm.
from the person who's keeping track of that. So I agree with you, Mr. Chair, that that's going to come back probably in the springtime. We're going to see how that's going to recoup.
Okay.
Hopefully before the end of the fiscal year for us.
Okay. Nope, that's good. Okay, and I can see
So we're
Steve's with,
plus 800 there, you think?
yep, I can see Steve's with us now. Steve, have you finished your connection?
Great.
All right. So anyway, my suggestion is to kind of leave that line where it is. Just in case.
I agree.
I would, so we're gonna leave that at the 29,000. Legal, we did
Yep.
not spend any legal funds this year,
Woohoo.
which is, no, that's a good thing. However,
That's excellent.
yeah, it is, but I do see some potential for maybe some legal costs in 2022. If our friend down on Plymouth Street continues to be a problem, we may need to do that. So,
What was in our budget for legal, Chair?
excuse me,
What was our budget for legal?
2,000.
I know that we didn't expenditure 2,000.
Yeah, we didn't spend any of that.
So just leave the hat for now.
Okay, yep, I think that's a good idea. We need to put something there just in case.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, after we juggle a couple things around, then maybe we can see if we have any areas for cutting, but
exactly. I mean, we've already managed to juggle a little bit here, so. Okay,
agree.
so chemicals and testing. Mike, do you see any reason why we might need to increase chemicals or testing?
Only if we increase output of water will be the only reason why.
Yeah,
Which
okay,
when we get the operator update, that's a very possible scenario.
yep, I get it.
I like that.
Yes.
Okay, so right now we're at 6,000 for chemicals, and we spent. Yeah, we have an unexpended balance there of about $2,800. So that might be a place that we can move from if we need to. Right now it seems like we're kind of well in line with what we need for chemicals.
Evan, whatever we decide to go, whatever, we'll redo that sheet with suggestions and send it back to us, so that way, I can sit and I can see if I can figure out, okay, so we can make, and if we're able to recoup that, find areas that we recoup in our budget and a little tighter, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yep, absolutely. It looks like Steve's still trying to figure out his sound. Okay, so the next line was meter replacement. Meters, we haven't really, Mike, have we really kind of followed a meter replacement plan? I know we looked at it.
No, because it comes out of your pocket.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why I haven't, because it's, each house would be 200 and I think it's up to $230 now per setup. So that's why I haven't.
Yeah. Steve's calling me. Hey, Steve, what's up?
All right.
But I can't talk.
Yeah, you don't have a mic? Uh-oh. Okay,
Playing and trying to figure out how to.
okay. You don't have a microphone on your computer. And Mary's not there with her phone, right? Yeah, so, okay.
So I'm just gonna watch.
Okay. Did,
If it's something I'll call you back.
did,
If it's something I need to be involved in,
okay, did,
well, can you just leave me on the phone?
hang on for a second. I might be able to do that. Speaker. Here we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Steve, can you hear me on the, Steve, can you hear me on the phone? Okay, good. Okay, so where was I? Meter
We're talking
replacement.
about
Yes.
Meter
meter
replacement. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I haven't been doing it just because it costs out of your pocket about $230 per meter.
Yeah,
So the very small amount that you might be missing from one not being, super accurate.
okay. So, but again, that's a line that we use to pay for meters sometimes.
Yeah.
Now, I know that meters, when we buy a new meter or when the new customer buys a meter, they reimburse us.
Correct.
So it's
right.
kind of a pass through for us.
Only on that first meter, though.
Only
After
on
that,
the-
it's
yeah. If we decide to replace meters, do we want to leave that? Right now, it's at $1,500.
so 1,500. So that would be, I think the radios, because when the radios, the batteries in the radios last for 10 years. So when those die, I replace those, which
Okay.
costs out of your pocket.
So
So that's
Sure.
probably like $120.
All right. So that's 350 a piece, roughly.
No, roughly 250. I want to say.
All right.
For
So
the whole
that's
set, the
17.
meter's like 120, and the radio's like 120, and then the bracket's like another like 5 or 10, I think.
Yeah. So that's what, like 7
I never really
meters.
see those numbers.
Approximately,
roughly.
approximately, yeah, roughly.
And we had, I'm sorry, what was in our budget for that, for the meters? I'm sorry.
1,500?
Yeah, 1,500.
Yeah, I'd leave it.
Okay.
I can't see us changing out any existing meters. Any new meters coming in, obviously they're paying for them, so that's a pass through. So
Correct.
this is only just in case we have a failure, and we get
Exactly.
10 or 12,
Yeah.
12 meters, if 12 failures in a year. That might be one I want to think about scooping some money and going somewhere else with it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I
If we
do.
have a deficit somewhere, maybe we can take it, figure, all right, we'll be short. What's the chance we're going to have 2 bad meters in a year? Mike, when's the last time you had to change out a meter because it was defective or something?
My headset's about to die. Meter itself, it's been a couple of years. The radios, I think I replaced 2 last year. Just the radios, though, not the meter itself.
Okay. Yeah, so we're okay there. So that might be one that we might be able to steal some money from.
It's possible, yes. Okay.
If we need to allocate it to
backflow-
a different.
Yeah, backflow testing, and this is going to be from Mike. We've got 2850 budgeted for that. Does that sound about right for us? Because we do annual backflow testing on most of the commercial properties, I believe.
Yeah, which I thought you guys were passing to the clients, to be honest.
We should be.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but it's possible that is a pass through.
It should be.
Yeah, I'll have to look at the rate schedule to see, but yeah, it's possible. I haven't looked at the rate schedule, so.
Yeah, because that will go up slightly as we get more customers, like commercial customers anyways, they get a new device. So it's like, I think it's $75 roughly that they charge per device.
Okay.
So that should stay roughly the same, but it should be a pass-through anyways on all of them except for the one that you have at North Carver. And then the fill station.
Exactly. Dave, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Okay, so insurance, we had budgeted 7,300, and this past in FY20 we spent $77,039, and that's probably with the discount that we get from the carrier as well. So we're in line there.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Okay. Professional services, we have recording secretary, water operator services, billing support, and other. Other would include potential engineering sources.
We have that?
Yeah, we do. We have. Yes, I know. Mike's making a joke here.
I sent him another nasty email last week.
Did you?
You're a good boy.
Yeah, I know. Recording secretary is that's we pay 75 for 12 meetings a year, so that's kind of in line. Water operator services are a little bit higher than they were in years past. So I'll do the math on that one, but we might want to increase that a little bit. Billing support.
What was the contracted services for? What was our budget for them? Was that a line item or was that all put together as one? Did she break that down for us?
That was a line item. If you look at the expense report that comes from the soft right, it's all lumped into one.
Yeah.
As 102.5. But if you look at the spreadsheet, the Excel spreadsheet that she sends to us every year, it's $74,000. So I'm going to take a closer look at that. I know we had some increases over the last fiscal year that may not be reflected in the FY21. We might want to look at increasing that line. Billing support.
Yep.
Billing support is for we pay a third party vendor to help us with the billing, which is not done through the soft right. It's done through QuickBooks, and it's not something that it's something that we need third party support for. So we have $600 for that. Other professional services, we have $6,000 in that line in case we need engineering services or the like, kind of any kind of other professional service that is not recording secretary, water operator, billing support. So we have those lines, that we can make adjustments to if we need to.
Gotcha.
Dues and fees. It's inevitable that the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection is going to send us a bill because they are our lords and overseers, and they make us pay for the privilege.
Oh, that is a good privilege, ain't it?
Yeah, well, it's again, we have $1,000 in that line. We haven't used $1,000. Last year they didn't ask us for anything, but that may be they may be just going to double dip us this year. They
have a new chief for the Southeast region.
Exactly.
I can tell you on my end of the game, what I'm seeing in professional fees coming down from the legislative body, they're picking anything in any way to get any money out of us. So I would expect something coming there.
Yeah. So even though they didn't nick us in 2020, I'm going to guess they're going to do it in 2021 and probably again in 2022, and that's the budget we're looking at.
Yeah.
And we have a reserve account of $7,000. That's one that we can use to That's one that we can use in years past, we used that to supplement our propane budget, and we've used it to supplement other lines which came close and or ran over, just as a way of kind of hedging our bet against the worst case scenario. That's why we have that there. Indirect costs this year are scheduled to increase by almost or over 13,000. We're going to go from 54,126 to 67,658, and that's indirect costs are costs that we return money to the town of Carver, even though we're being subsidized. We return money to the town of Carver because we're an enterprise fund for services like, the budget that Meg sent to me took her some time, and there are people in the town that work for us and do what we need done, and this is the amount that it costs us. And quite frankly, I think 67,658 is probably closer to the number that it really should be than years in the past where we've kind of, I think the town has kind of gifted us a little bit in years past, and I think in FY22, we're kind of getting a lot closer to, what it should be.
Reality.
Yeah, exactly.
When we say that, I don't disagree with what you're saying, but I would really love to know where the electric's going.
And I will follow up with that electric. And I think Craig is the one that manages that now.
Uh-huh.
So I'll touch base with him. The Eversource credits.
Yeah, I think that all the services, whether it's coming out of the accounting's office, tax collector's offices, and I know coming out of the building department, Jill and the kid there, I think that everybody does a great job for us. So I'm not going to question that at all.
I would agree with that. Personally, I think we get good service from the town for what it is that we need them to do, and that's I would tend to agree with that. Okay, so now we're going to get into debt service, and we're going to talk a little bit about debt service. Even though debt service is on a schedule, there really isn't a whole lot that we can do about it. But there is some good news in this year's debt service. This is the first year where we do not have to pay for the tail bond. Tail bond got retired in the FY20 budget.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's a good thing. It works to our advantage. Debt service in FY21 was $181,886. This year, it drops to $84,956. So that's a big bonus for us. Not that it means much because we're losing things. If you remember what was going on in the revenue side, we probably lost that and then some. So so that's kind of where you're freezing up.
Sorry, I was trying to look at something.
Yep. Okay. So anyway, and again,
I'm back.
The debt service interest is reducing because obviously the interest is going to reduce quicker than the principal. We're going down from 151,369 to 146,299. So our debt service is getting a whole lot better. We're dropping from 333,256 to 231,256. So we're getting a lot better as far as like debt service goes. We're moving in the right direction on that one.
That's awesome.
Yep. So again,
Well, we've been doing this for how long now?
this is my 12th year. I've been doing this for 12 years.
Sucker for punishment, Kevin.
Yeah, I know, and I've already been to the clerk's office to pick up my papers to sign up for the next 3, but she didn't have the papers ready, so she won't have them.
Wow, brother, waste not, want not.
Yeah, I know. I love being a water commissioner. I just hate budget season. That's all there is to it. This is not my favorite time of the year.
I agree with you there.
So anyway, and that's the gruesome details of the North Carver Water District budget. I did forward all of this stuff to you so you guys can look it over and kind of make some decisions about what you think is fair and appropriate. Then we can make some decisions next month.
Yeah, I think that's good. If I think that I'd like to thank them for providing us with the information again. I think that's good, and hopefully we can get to a better circle. If we can cut our budget down a little without hurting us.
Yep.
Without choking us, being realistic. I mean, obviously in the past, 5 years, we've cut this budget and been very fiscally responsible.
I would tend to agree with that.
In very bad times, so.
Yep. We do have.
If we keep going in that right direction, we should be good.
Yep, and we do have, if something catastrophic happens, we do have a retained earnings that we can work with to, if the wheels come off the bus, we have retained earnings that we can use to fix whatever problems come up. And we will have to go to town meeting to get approval for that. But,
Yeah.
We'll just do that because that's what we have to do.
Exactly.
I mean, we've been running lean for 2 years.
Yes, we have. Yeah, we have.
We don't spend any money that we really absolutely positively have to spend.
I would agree with that. And again,
I agree with that.
we've been running. We've been. I'm going to look at last year's budget. Our operating was 164 and 50. We expended 112 and 113. So we also encumbered 36,000. So we ended the year with a surplus of a fair amount. We ended up with 76 113 as an unexpended balance. So
that's
from food poisoning this year, but you can keep your family safe.
sorry about that.
no problem. So we as our budget goes, that's all unexpended money that ends up in our retained earnings, and it's what we're going to need to do things like pay for membranes.
Yes.
And when the time finally comes, we're gonna need to pay for membranes for the treatment plant. They're not going to last forever, and they're not cheap. So
No, we should have. Weren't we putting Sunny away for that?
that's where it's ending up. It's ending up in our retained earnings. The only hook there is that we need to go back to town meeting for approval to expend those funds, and that's fine. I think we can reasonably justify that expense, and I don't think that it would be a real problem. We're not spending somebody else's money here; we're spending our own.
Yeah, we already beat the life expectancy.
Because it's our retained earnings. It's not towns. It's not going to be the town's money that we're asking for.
Well, I'm going to go on record by saying that I think small water systems has definitely helped us on stretching those membranes out just on the maintenance of the plant. And I'll give that up to you, Michael. I think that's
Thank you.
great kudos to you guys in your team. Pass that on to your boss, I think it's important that you guys understand that we're not struggling when it comes to membranes because of what you guys have done for us.
Thank you. I will.
And I would agree with
Got
that 100%. Okay, so we've banged up the budget a little bit, so let's, now let's talk about the ugly stuff. Mike, well maintenance.
Well maintenance. So those pumps are built to order.
Yep.
So they don't have them on shelves, and they ran into a problem with one of the parts inside one of the pumps.
Okay.
So we are still expecting them the first week of February, but they would have been here already if it wasn't for that one part. It's a
Okay.
Teflon space that goes inside the pump that they just were having problems getting, probably because of COVID and shipping.
Okay. Well, you know,
we're still on track. I asked for an update today. I got another update, and they said we're still on track for first week of February to get the pumps in. So that's still
Okay.
going. And well, number 2 is still pumping along consistently.
All right. Okay.
So that's good.
Good.
Okay, and we can kind of follow up with the water operators report.
Yeah. So the only other thing I have from that, I was contacted last Friday by a gentleman who had talked to a couple people in town hall because Jill called me, and then John Woods called me a couple hours later. Who is interested. He owns the property behind and next to the new gas station on 58, and he's looking for 20,000 gallons a day.
The behind across from the Honeydew.
I think behind that. I think behind that gas station, or like
Behind the gas station. Okay.
he said behind, and he said it had frontage on 58. I was like, every lot on 58 has a 2-inch service already on it. He's like, no, I need like 20,000 gallons a day.
That would be. Yes, I know that's across from the Honeydew.
I was driving, so I didn't get a chance to write it down. But he's looking to build a pot farm.
He's
Oh, good.
He's across from the Honeydew. It's the old train station.
Yes, there it is. Thank you.
The railroad station. The old railroad station.
Yep.
So that would bring also diff in taxes. You'd make huge off of the taxes if he gets approval to do all this. Besides
He wants to build a cannabis cultivation.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And he sounded like he wants to do it like now. Like he was like gung ho.
All right. Has he?
I've been sitting on it for years. He's like, and now it's done. He's like, now it's time to get this process moving. So
has he approached the town for any other type of permitting?
I don't know if he has. I know it hasn't been approved. I don't know if he told me it hasn't been approved yet, but I don't know if he's even like if he's got it started.
Okay, I'll
talk about engineers and stuff.
I'll touch base with. I will touch base with the permitting office tomorrow.
In fact, I thought we were meeting tonight at town hall when I talked to him last week. So I told him the meeting was tonight at town hall at 5:30. So he might have gone there tonight to try and talk to you guys because like that kind of water, you should probably talk to the commissioners in person.
Okay, so I'm gonna put the question out there. Do we believe that we have that kind of water available to him?
Yes, absolutely.
Everybody's saying yes.
Yes, because we're doing. We probably average 30,000 gallons a day, like roughly through the year.
Oh.
And we're budgeted 100,000 gallons. And you can go over 100,000 gallons as long as you don't go over for like a month.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware of where that room is.
Yeah. So
I fully intend on going as close to that line as I possibly can. Okay, so all right.
So I think it's huge for gallons that we sell, and then for the diff as well.
Yeah. Plus
if it gets approved, because
plus the increase in the privilege fee, because that property was. I will have to check with my documentation, but that property was only assessed a certain amount during the initial assessment. So there's going to be an increase in the privilege fee as well. So we're looking at a potential for some substantial revenue here.
Yes.
Okay.
And he seemed like really gung ho. He's like, I've been sitting on this for a couple of years now. He's like, now it's time to get it done.
Okay.
As long as he gets approval anyways.
Well, yeah, exactly. He's gonna need ours is not the big hoop to get through.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's gonna have to get past some other people first. Well, I will touch base with the permitting department and see where he is on that.
And Jill knows who it is. Jill has his name. I just.
Okay, all right, all right.
So, and other than that, everything else has been going well.
Everything else is going along. It's that time of year, isn't it? Everything quiets down a little bit in the winter.
Yes.
Yeah, it does. Okay. All right. Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome.
All right. So bills payable.
Thanks, Mike.
You're welcome.
Has everyone had an opportunity to review the bills?
Yeah, I want to know what that strange one is.
The strange one. What's the strange one?
One that's $1,190.
1,000.
UBS.
Oh. UBS. That's
Insurance, is it?
Oh. Rapid read only custom. Oh. Annual go to my PC license. That's the that falls under the other professional services, or is it? That's the billing support, which we have.
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't that the billing guy?
Yeah, we have budgeted 600 for that. I don't know what this,
And did he double that? I didn't think that annual fee was that high last year.
I don't believe that it was either.
I mean, it's not like we put on a lot of extra clients.
No.
No, we haven't. Yeah, this is a lot higher than I anticipated.
Can we just hold on that and get a little bit more information on that one?
Okay, I will.
Because that's like double his annual.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I will. I'll get in touch with Jill on that one, just because that's a lot higher than I anticipated.
I tell you, I was on the floor, but I can't because I'm driving.
What could be on the floor?
Here's the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. They're sending.
Yeah, that's another one that I want to know about.
No, it's typical for them to send us the DEP. The DEP is our lord and overseer, and they make us pay for the privilege. Now, this one's actually a lot lower than I anticipated. So.
Oh, it's still $100.
It's
Yeah.
100.
What do we get? You're telling me we're paying $100, but we're not getting nothing.
No, they monitor us. They make
And
sure.
we pay them.
We
pay them to monitor us.
That's the way it
That's the
works.
government.
We're talking about the Commonwealth of Massachusetts here, okay?
I didn't like it when you talked about it in the budget, and I still don't like it.
No, I understand what you're saying, Steve, but
It's only gonna get worse.
if we don't pay it, they're just going to take it from us. That's the way it works. That's
Fine.
that's the Commonwealth.
Mark my words, that's going up.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
So what's the batch? So what's the total on the batch if you subtract the 1190 out?
Let me pull the batch out, and I will have to do the math. So that's that one. So need a calculator. Hang on. All right, I'm back. No, my phone has a calculator on it, but I'm afraid if I touch it, I'll lose Steve.
Which isn't a bad thing.
No, I don't want to lose Steve. All right, so 3945.65 minus 1190 equal 2,755 and 65. Sounds really low to me, and I don't know why, but
Well, there's no chemicals in it.
yeah. Other professional services, Commonwealth of Massachusetts, County of Carlos, Solaire.
It's just the solar. It's
Yeah.
just the solar and the.
Yep.
There's no chemicals.
Nope, basically. So yeah, that's the number, 2755.65.
All right, I make a motion. We pay our bills, batch number 1, $2,755.65.
Okay, and you're gonna have to authorize the chairman to sign the packet for you because you're not here.
I will make part of that my motion.
Okay,
I will second said motion with the amendment.
okay. So we have a motion and a second to authorize batch number 1 in the amount of 2755.65. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Will I?
Will I? Kevin, I. Okay, it's unanimous.
All right, I make a motion that we pay batch number 2, which is always the $6,000.
Yes, it is.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, and that's small water systems contract ops for the month of January. Must be December.
Must be December.
Must be December because we're in January now. Okay, so we have a motion and a second to pay batch number 2 in the amount of $6,000. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Steve says aye.
Will says aye.
Kevin says aye. It's unanimous. Thank you. Okay, and I'll get with Jill on this USB, and we'll get some clarification on why it seems like it's a lot higher than it was in the past.
Perfect. Does anybody have any update on what is going on with our engineer? Or are we just getting snowballed?
I emailed them in regards to the high school and added a PS on the bottom of it saying we're still waiting for our software and our maps back. And it's been 4+ years and I haven't heard a peep.
Yep. Yeah, I haven't heard anything from Mike either.
So it's been quite a while.
Yeah, it's
Did
been a
we
long time.
pay him for all of that? Wasn't that part of a grant?
It
Yes.
was. That was all paid for through a grant. So he should be happy. And in the meantime, there have been opportunities, and I've asked him if we owe him any money, just let me know, and we'll take care of it. But I don't see it. I never get any invoices. So
Is we getting any response from his office at all, other than Mike? I mean, any correspondence at all from his office?
I haven't seen any.
not that I'm aware.
So,
And he's a principal
So I
partner,
want
so I
this-
don't know if he has a boss either.
I want to put this on our next agenda.
Okay.
In the meantime, I'd like to send a registered letter from the commission to his office. That way we'll get some type of signature on it saying, hey, we've asked time and time again, before we take legal action, we want to know where we're at. We want our property back.
Yep.
Enough of 4 years is too long. I'm sorry.
A long time.
Yeah.
Yep. We've been waiting long enough, I think.
I'll second
So I
that
think
motion.
I'll put that in a motion. Absolutely. A motion to send a registered letter to our engineer asking for our information to be returned to us before we take legal action. That's my motion.
Okay.
And I will second that motion.
All right. So we have a motion and a second to send a registered letter to Comprehensive Environmental Company CEI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Michael requesting our property back because he's been paid for that. He's been paid for that that infrastructure grant, and he's been asked several times from multiple sources for it. So, any further discussion on that? All those in favor?
Steven says aye.
Will says aye.
Kevin says aye. It's unanimous. All right,
Mr.
minutes.
Chairman, we'll
sir.
put that on our next agenda, correct?
Yes, I will.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
No problem. All right.
I make a motion we approve the minutes of December the 14th as written.
Will, did you have a
And I will
chance?
second that.
Okay, good.
I read them today during lunch.
Okay. That's good. All right, so we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of December 14th as written. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Steven says aye.
Will I?
Kevin, aye. It's unanimous. All right, some correspondence. You guys, I sent a notation to you, a letter to you guys from the administrator's office about the harassment policy. Did you guys see that?
I haven't opened it yet, but I saw
I
it.
actually saw, Mr. Chairman, I did see both those letters.
Okay,
I just saw both of those letters. I signed the documents, scanned them, and sent them to the clerk's office. Asked
perfect,
them if they would send them up to the selectman's office.
perfect. That's all I needed to know is that you guys saw the information and can get that information back to the clerk's office.
Yeah, I'll do whatever I got to do this week.
Yep, I know. Okay, so, and the only other thing that I had, I know Will asked about this at the last meeting. Apparently, and I was incorrect, I did not know that Indian Head Water actually paid up their balance in June. So they don't owe us any money.
Thank
Excellent.
you very much for that info.
Yep,
Well, that's wonderful.
yeah, it is. So we don't need to take them to court.
How about propane?
Thank-
Not to change the subject. The propane they pumped out?
No,
when they-
Propane, I have not heard back. I have not heard back from Dave Tiedenhoff on whether we were reimbursed from Reddington on the propane issue. So I haven't heard back.
I'll poke him tomorrow and see if he's got an answer for me.
Okay. All right. And I might do the same. He might
Okay.
see me in an email, and he'll see you in an email, and maybe that'll jog his memory. I'm sure that he's busy. I can only imagine how busy these people are.
Yeah.
I know they all work hard. So that's what I have for correspondence.
Mr.
Next
Chair,
meeting.
if I may.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Hey, I just want to set this out there. I know that this is being taped and everything. People might be thinking that we're getting a little extreme with CEI or with Reddington or with Indian Head. We're trying to be as fiscally responsible as we can with this. And I just want the public to know that when we have to go to this extreme, it's not that all of our services, including the town's ability to try to reach out to these people and negotiate for us to get this information and get these things paid, that we didn't go to that extreme before we go to potential legal battle. I just want people to understand that.
Exactly. And, it's, again, most of these issues have been lingering for a while, and, we do what we can, but, it's, sometimes you just have to go past where you really want to go.
Yeah, because we definitely don't want to do that.
Nope. I don't want to
At least I
incur.
don't.
Yeah, I don't want to incur legal expenses. We've already got it tough enough. So.
Yep.
Okay. Next meeting.
Make a motion for February the 8th, which is the second Monday in February at 5:30 at Town Hall.
You want to meet at Town Hall?
Well, I'm obviously striking out on this Zoom.
I would leave that up in the air.
Okay. All right. I'll when it gets closer, I'll touch base with you guys, and I don't want what we do to make anybody sick. That's my worst fear, is that what we do, causes somebody an injury. So, this
Exactly.
this virus makes me nervous. And I think it should make everybody nervous. So, but when it gets closer to 2/8/21 at 5:30, it's fine with me. If you guys want to meet at the town hall, that's fine with me as well. But let's kind of leave it up in the air, and I'll touch base with you guys as we get closer to that.
And I'll try to figure out how to get this Zoom thing to work.
Okay.
I know I'm listening to you through my speakers on my computer.
Okay.
You just don't see my face.
I don't.
And
Your computer doesn't have a microphone or a camera on it.
no, it doesn't have
Yeah.
either of those.
So, and that doesn't really help you. You can't participate if you can't at least talk to us. Now, it worked out because I had the phone, but
I have a laptop,
okay.
but I haven't been successful in getting the laptop to talk wire.
Yeah,
About it.
yeah, I get that. Yep.
I'll see if I can't get that to work.
Okay. All right.
If I get the laptop to talk to the router, the laptop's got the other stuff.
The laptop has all that other stuff. Okay. So we'll I'll touch base with you when we get closer to 2/8/21. Do we have a second on that meeting date? Will's muted himself.
He didn't leave, did he?
No, he's still here, but he's muted himself.
Oh yeah, I can see the lower left-hand corner.
Yep. He might be doing. All right. So anyway, I can, because I'm allowed to. I will second your motion for 2/8/21 at 5:30. Further discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Kevin says aye as well. Will's still muted.
All right. Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. I will second. No, that's Mike. Will, you're muted. Yeah. I can see his face. I can see his face.
Smiling.
Yeah, he's smiling. He's having a good time. I will second your motion to adjourn. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Steven says aye.
Kevin says aye.
Will's got a thumbs up.
Will's got a thumbs up. He heard what we're saying. He's Dan Badger's giving us a thumbs up too. Dan, did you have anything that you wanted to say?
No, I was just listening in, and appreciate you guys. Appreciate what you're doing.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Dan. All right. Good night, everyone.
All right, have a good night.